This video describes the new desktop switch actions in RightBooth 7. Now, just to explain a little bit about how I've set my system up. I'm running desktop 1 here with RightBooth on it. Now if I go down to the task view icon and click it, you can see I've set up 2 desktops in Windows, and you can set up multiple desktops by clicking on the new desktop plus icon. Let's have a look at desktop 2. Now on my desktop 2 I've got PowerPoint here, and I've also got this app running on top, which is the desktop switch app, which is available with RightBooth 7, and you'll find it in Program Files x86 RightBooth 7 folder. I'll explain more about this in a minute, so let's just go back to desktop 1. Again, let's just come down here and click desktop 1. So I've got RightBooth running on desktop 1, and I've got a PowerPoint presentation running on desktop 2. Now I would like my event users to look at the PowerPoint presentation while they're running my event. So I'm going to add an action to the start screen of RightBooth to allow the users to switch to my PowerPoint presentation on desktop 2. Let's show you how to do that. Go into the editor. I'm going to add a button, and this button is going to have an action to switch to desktop 2. So click the button, click Properties, look at the Action section. Now the new action for switching to desktop 2 is down here. Click Next Desktop, and as you can see, an icon is representing a switch to desktop 2. And that really is it. So if I go Exit and Play, if the user now clicks this button, it takes them to desktop 2. Now what it's effectively done is issued a command to Windows to switch to desktop 2. So if I fired up the PowerPoint presentation on here, it's running full screen, the user is now looking at the PowerPoint presentation on desktop 2. So this app here allows the user to get back to RightBooth just by clicking on the arrows. Let's do that. And we're back into the RightBooth event on desktop 1. Again, I can switch back to desktop 2, back to desktop 1, and so on. So it's very simple to do. Now a little bit more about this app. You can place it anywhere on the screen, and then you can lock it in place by right clicking and clicking Hide Caption Bar. Now this app is fixed in place and can't be moved, so all the user can do is literally click on it or touch it to get back to desktop 1. Another thing you can do is to make this become a desktop switcher from 1 to 2 just by right clicking and clicking on the next desktop mode to switch it the other way. The reason for that is that you may be running RightBooth on desktop 2 and you want to switch to desktop 1 to show the PowerPoint presentation. Alternatively, you may be running RightBooth on desktop 2 and want to switch to desktop 3 for showing something else, for instance. So it's possible to have multiple desktops with ways back to RightBooth using this desktop switch app. So let me just put that back to the left arrow. If I now left click on it, I'm back to RightBooth.